The South China Sea, a region of immense economic and strategic importance, is a potential flashpoint for the next world wars. Covering an expansive area of 3,685,000 square kilometers, this crucial body of water has not only become a battleground for territorial claims, but also a rich source of some of the most significant maritime discoveries in history. Beneath its seabed lie massive reserves of oil and natural gas worth trillions of dollars. Its waters teem with vast marine life, crucial for the food security of millions in Southeast Asia. On its surface, 1/3 of the world's maritime shipping industry passes through, carrying over $3 trillion in trade annually. This combination of resources and strategic value underscores why the South China Sea is so vital and heavily contested by multiple nations. Since 2013, China has been asserting its claim over nearly 90% of the South China Sea. China bases this claim on historic rights, with Chinese analysts and academics arguing that the Han Dynasty first discovered the islands in the region over 2 millennia ago. According to their narrative, China was the first to discover these islands, establish governance, and settle its people there. They claim the Chinese were the pioneers of economic activity in the region. This historical account forms the foundation of the infamous Nine-Dash Line, which encroaches upon the exclusive economic zones of several other nations, including Brunei, Malaysia, the Philippines, Taiwan, and Vietnam. In August 2023, China stunned the world by unveiling an updated map featuring a new 10-dash line. This revision officially includes the island of Taiwan within its core territory, reinforcing China's sweeping territorial claims in Southeast Asia and intensifying regional tensions. This overlapping claim has resulted in significant tension between China and these neighboring nations. If we base it on the prevailing international law, countries can only claim and utilize territory within 200 nautical miles of their shores, known as their exclusive economic zones. This regulation is derived from the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, which sets the maximum extent of territorial waters countries can claim, along with various other limitations and regulations. What's more surprising is that China itself is a signatory to UNCLOS, so technically it cannot claim these territories, having agreed to these standards. Despite this, China continues to assert its claims, which directly conflict with the economic zones of Taiwan and other Southeast Asian nations, fueling regional tensions. However, this isn't just a showdown between a titan and some smaller nations. It's turned into a proxy conflict involving another superpower, the United States. As a close ally of the Philippines, the U.S. has promised to protect this nation against any threats to its sovereignty. The geopolitics in the region has become a high-stakes game of chess, with each country carefully calculating their next moves. One wrong move could spell disaster, not just for the countries involved, but for the entire world. But beneath the complex geopolitics of the South China Sea, scientists have plunged into its depths, uncovering extraordinary discoveries that illuminate human history. The ocean's depths not only conceal trillions of dollars worth of resources, but also hold invaluable knowledge about the mysteries lurking in the deepest parts of our planet. So, let's dive into these fascinating finds, shall we? World War II Submarine. 3,000 feet below the South China Sea, the wreckage of the U.S. Navy's submarine Harder, renowned for sinking the most Japanese warships during World War II, has been discovered. It was nearly 80 years since her final patrol. This submarine has been celebrated for its significant role in the U.S. victory during the war. It sank the most Japanese warships, disrupting Japan's plans and delaying their carrier force, thus contributing to their eventual defeat. The Philippines, a U.S. territory at the time, was attacked by Japan shortly after the strike on Pearl Harbor in December 1941. By the spring of 1942, U.S. and Philippine forces in Luzon had surrendered to Japanese forces, who then used the archipelago to protect their supply lines from the East Indies and Southeast Asia. However, by mid-1944, the U.S. was reversing Japanese advances across the Pacific and planning landings to reclaim the Philippines. During this period, one submarine, the USS Harder, made a significant impact on this campaign. She's a Gato-class sub named after a type of fish, the Harder mullet. She earned the nickname Hit 'em Harder, a fitting tribute to her extraordinary achievements. In a stunning display of naval prowess, she sank 3 Japanese destroyers and likely destroyed or severely damaged 2 more, all within the span of just 4 days. Tragically, Harder vanished in the South China Sea off Luzon during her 6th war patrol on August 24, 1944, along with her crew of 79 submariners. On the morning of this fateful day, Harder engaged in battle with the Japanese escort ship CD-22, launching 3 torpedoes at the vessel. However, the Japanese ship evaded the torpedoes and launched a series of depth charge attacks on Harder. The 5th depth charge struck Harder, sinking her and her crew. On 2nd of January 1945, the Navy solemnly declared the USS Harder presumed lost, and by January 20th, her name was removed from the Navy Register. Despite her tragic end, the Harder's legacy lived on through her remarkable contributions to the war effort. In recognition of her bravery and service, she was awarded the Presidential Unit Citation for her first 5 patrols and received 6 battle stars for her outstanding service during World War II. This find of the celebrated World War II submarine is a historic achievement in nautical archaeology. The wreck is the final resting place of sailors who bravely gave their lives defending their country. Deepest blue hole. Blue holes are among the most mysterious features of our oceans, and one of the deepest lies near the Paracel Islands in the South China Sea. Known as Dragon Hole, or Longdong, it plunges to an astonishing depth of 300 meters, far surpassing the previous record holder, Dean's Blue Hole in the Bahamas. It's nearly as tall as the Eiffel Tower. This nearly vertical blue hole spans 130 meters in diameter at its surface entrance, narrowing to 36 meters at its bottom. Down there, at the very depths, there's no water flow or exchange with the rest of the ocean, creating an isolated, mysterious world of its own. Its mystique is so profound that local fishermen have dubbed it the Eye of the South China Sea. They believe it to be the very spot where the Monkey King, from the Chinese folktale Journey to the West, discovered his legendary gold-banded cudgel. Blue holes are fascinating and intricate ecosystems, offering a unique habitat for a diverse array of marine life. Within these submerged caverns, you'll find everything from vibrant corals and sponges to mollusks, sea turtles, and even sharks. These ecosystems flourish in the distinctive light and nutrient conditions that blue holes provide. Despite their ecological importance, exploring blue holes is far from a casual dive. It's a perilous journey. Hence, much of their biodiversity and ecological dynamics remain a mystery. The limited oxygen and sulfuric waters that often lurk below make diving in these depths extremely dangerous. In the lower parts of a deep blue hole like Dragon Hole, the water is stagnant and anoxic, with almost no circulation, making it inhospitable to most sea life. Yet, these extraordinary underwater formations offer an opportunity to uncover the secrets of the deeper parts of our planet. Artificial island sinking. Knowing they couldn't claim a territory without infrastructure or inhabitants, China initiated a bold strategy, constructing man-made islands in the South China Sea. Their aim was for these artificial outposts to be recognized as Chinese territory. However, it appears that nature itself is now pushing back against their efforts. China's island outposts in these contested waters might have a critical vulnerability. Since 2013, the Chinese government has dredged and largely destroyed delicate reefs in disputed waters to create 7 major military bases, complete with ports, airstrips, radar, and missile installations. These islands function like unsinkable aircraft carriers, solidifying Beijing's claims over these disputed waters. But recent rumors suggest that competing countries might not need to take action against these installations. The islands seem to be sinking on their own, with reports of foundations cracking and turning to sponge. If these rumors prove true, China may be forced to abandon the islands for good. Beyond their fragile foundations, China's artificial islands face an even mightier adversary: nature itself. A powerful typhoon could wreak far more havoc on these constructions than their already deteriorating concrete. As global temperatures climb, the warming ocean waters are expected to spawn more frequent super typhoons in the South China Sea. Yet, China appears unprepared for this looming threat. A single, well-placed super typhoon could dismantle years of Beijing's efforts in its ambitious island-building campaign. The warming climate brings even more challenges for China's artificial islands. Built without seawalls or protective infrastructure, these structures are defenseless against rising waters. As glaciers in the Arctic and Antarctic continue to melt, sea levels rise, further threatening the longevity of these man-made fortifications. Adding to their woes, these islands also lack defenses against erosion and surging tides. Designed to be a permanent string of fortifications in the South China Sea, they were not built to endure the very elements they now face. The situation is worsened by China's destruction of vast coral reefs and mangroves during construction. These natural barriers once shielded against the sea's relentless forces, but their removal has left the islands even more exposed to nature's wrath. In an ironic twist that some might call poetic justice, China destroyed the very natural defenses that could have ensured their islands' resilience against the challenges of a warming climate. Unique vampire squid. In the depths of the South China Sea, scientists in China have uncovered what may be a newfound species of vampire squid, making it only the second known species of its kind in the world. Vampire squid grow to about a foot in length. While their name might evoke fear, these sea creatures are harmless scavengers of the deep sea. Rather than posing a threat to larger marine life, they feed mainly on feces and dead animals, playing a vital role in the ocean's ecosystem. The vampire squid has been discovered in temperate and tropical ocean environments across various parts of the globe. Until now, the only officially recognized species was described in 1903, following a deep-sea expedition led by the German marine biologist Carl Chun. The second species discovered near Hainan Islands in the northwestern South China Sea was named Vampirotuthis pseudo-infernalis, and found at depths of 2,600 to 3,300 feet in the so-called twilight zone, where only a sliver of light from the surface penetrates. They thrive in the deep sea's oxygen minimum zone, where few organisms can survive. They primarily feed on marine snow, relying on their unique adaptability to endure extremely low oxygen levels with ease. These fascinating creatures are bioluminescent as well, capable of producing their own light to attract small, edible particles, making them well suited for life in the dark depths of the ocean. These bioluminescent properties not only help them communicate, but also confuse predators. Vampire squids are truly unique creatures, neither true squids nor octopuses, yet remarkably adapted to the harsh deep-sea environment. Researchers believe the South China Sea offers the ideal conditions for these fascinating creatures, enabling them to thrive in extremely low oxygen levels. Historically, the South China Sea has played a vital role in global marine biodiversity, providing a hospitable environment for organisms like vampire squids to flourish. Floating military base. The BRP Sierra Madre, a World War II-era ship, stands as perhaps the most unlikely military base in the hotly contested waters of the South China Sea. For over 2 decades, this deliberately grounded vessel has remained in the shallow waters, proudly bearing the Philippine flag and serving as a symbol against Chinese expansionism. Since 1999, the Sierra Madre has been stranded on Second Thomas Shoal in the Spratly Islands. The Philippines, however, has turned it into a naval outpost, a steadfast symbol of their sovereignty, manned by a small group of troops. Regular resupply missions deliver food, water, and fuel to the Marines stationed there. Yet concerns are growing among experts about how much longer the vessel can withstand the elements, as its sides are ravaged by rust and its hull is punctured with holes. This tiny submerged vessel has become the most dangerous flashpoint in the Indo-Pacific, edging the region closer to the brink of armed conflict. China's Coast Guard has ramped up its aggressive tactics, using water cannons, ramming boats, and even brandishing weapons to prevent Manila from resupplying the Marines stationed on the ship. Analysts believe Beijing is playing a waiting game, anticipating the day when the ship disintegrates, leaving the shoal unoccupied and ripe for the taking. It appears that the Philippines has outmaneuvered its rival. According to reports, they have secretly reinforced the dilapidated warship, extending its lifespan and ensuring its continued presence in these contested waters. This tiny wreckage stands as a reflection of Filipino character. Despite all the adversaries hurled against them, they would be resilient enough to survive. you're interested to know more about the rich history of other countries, be sure to watch our next video. Hope you like our story. Catch you in the next one.